Oh, hello there. I'm Bilchan.
I'm Nimikung.
I'm Banchan.
In this class, I'll read to all of you. Chapter 7, Section 1 of A Tale of Two Cities, Book the Second Golden Thread.
As.
Ah.
A Tale of Two Cities, Book the Second Golden Thread. Charles Dickens. Chapter 7, Section 1. Monseigneur. One of the great lords in power at the court held his fortnightly reception in his grand hotel in Paris. Monseigneur was in his inner room, his sanctuary of sanctuaries, the holiest of holiest to the crowd of worshippers in the suite of rooms without. Monseigneur was about to take his chocolate. Monseigneur could swallow a great many things with ease, and was by some fusilin minds supposed to be rather rapidly swallowing France. But his morning's chocolate could not so much as get into the throat of Monseigneur, without the aid of 4 strong men besides the cook. Yes, it took 4 men, all 4 ablaze with gorgeous decoration. His pocket, emulative of the noble and chaste fashion set by Monseigneur, to conduct the happy chocolate to Monseigneur's lips. One lacquey carried the chocolate pot into the sacred presence. A second mulled in for the chocolate with the little instrument he bore for that function. A third presented the favoured napkin. A fourth of the 2 gold watches poured the chocolate out, and hold his high place under the admiring heavens, waited on by only 3 men. He must have died of 2. Monseigneur had been out at a little supper last night, where the comedy and the grand opera were charmingly represented. Monseigneur was out at a little supper most nights, with fascinating company. So polite and so impressible was Monseigneur. Tiresome articles of state affairs and state secrets. Then the needs of all France. A happy circumstance for France. Of example, in the regretted days of the merry Stuart who sold it, Monseigneur had one truly noble idea of general public business, which was to let everything go on in its own way. Of particular public business, his own power in pocket. Of his pleasures, general and particular. Monseigneur had the other truly noble idea, that the world was made for them. The text of his order altered from the original by only a pronoun, which is not much ran. The earth and the fullness thereof are mine. It. Monseigneur had slowly found that vulgar embarrassments crept into his affairs, both private and public, and he had, as to both classes of affairs, allied himself before us with the farmer general. As to finances public, because Monseigneur could not make anything at all of them, and must consequently let them out to somebody who could. As to finances private, because farmer generals were rich, and Monseigneur, after generations of great luxury and expense, was growing poor. Hence Monseigneur had taken his sister from a convent, while there was yet time to ward off the impending veil, the cheapest garment she could wear, and had bestowed her as a prize upon a very rich farmer general, Korean family, which farmer general, carrying an appropriate king with a golden apple on the top of it, was now among the company in the outer rooms, much prostrated before by mankind always accepting superior mankind of the blood of Monseigneur, who, his own wife included, looked down upon him with the loftiest contempt. A sumptuous man was the farmer general. 30 horses stood in his stables. 24 male domestics sat in his halls. 6 buddy women waited on his wife. As one who pretended to do nothing but plunder and forage where he could. The personage who attended at the hotel of Monseigneur that day. 4. The rooms. Though a beautiful scene to look at, could achieve, were, in truth, not a sound business. So far off, either, but that the watching towers of Notre Dame, almost equidistant from the two extremes, could see them both. They would have been an exceedingly uncomfortable business if that could have been anybody's business. At the house of Monseigneur, military officers destitute of military knowledge, naval officers with no idea of a ship, civil officers without a notion of affairs, brazen ecclesiastics of the worst wood wholly, with sensual eyes, loose tongues, and lucid lives, all totally unfit for their several callings, all lying horribly and pretending to belong to them, but all nearly or remotely of the order of Monseigneur, and therefore feasted on all public employments from which anything was to be got. These were to be told of by the score and the score. People not immediately connected with Monseigneur or the state, yet equally unconnected with anything that was real, or with lives passed in travelling by any straight road to any true earthly end, were no less abundant. Doctors who made great fortunes out of dainty remedies for imaginary disorders that never existed, smiled upon their courtly patients in the antechambers of Monseigneur. State was touched, except the remedy of setting to work in earnest to root out a single sin, poured their distracting babble into any ears they could lay hold of. At the reception of Monseigneur, unbelieving philosophers who were remodeling the world with words, and making card tours of Babel to scale the skies with, taught with unbelieving chemists who had an eye on the transmutation of metals. At this wonderful gathering accumulated by Monseigneur, exquisite gentlemen of the finest breeding, indifference to every natural subject of human interest, were in the most exemplary state of exhaustion. At the hotel of Monseigneur, such homes had these various notabilities left behind them in the fine world of Paris. With, few, in her manners and appearance, owned to being a mother, indeed, to the fashion. Peasant women kept on fashionable babies close, and brought them up, and charming grand manners of 60 dressed and supped as at 20. The leprosy of unreality disfigured every human creature in attendance upon Monseigneur. In the outermost room were half a dozen exceptional people who had, for a few years, some vague misgiving in them that things in general were going rather wrong, as a promising way of setting them right. To be continued.